Welcome back to Modern Day Meta. Modern Day Meta is all about bridging the everyday and the sacred. I'm Meta, and I thank you for joining me for what I hope will be an informative look at the current planetary influences with a focus on the inner planets. I do have another video on the current outer planetary influences that I will link at the end of the video and also in the description box below. This video was produced around March 1st, 2020 in preparation for the 4 wellness readings I do twice a month for each element. If you don't want to miss the wellness videos or the ones I do each Sabbath on the Wheel of the Year, or the monthly birthday reading, or the moon phase readings I give for the collective, you'll want to be sure and subscribe to the channel on YouTube, as well as follow me on Instagram or Facebook. So let's take a look and see what's happening. The sun is still currently moving through the sign of Pisces. Happy birthday, Pisces. Everybody should be feeling really super creative and dreamy. I know I'm really getting my tarot journaling on and plowed through about 5 or so different pages. So I'm milking the Pisces season. I want to remind people who are Aries who might be turning in that if you subscribe, the Aries video is coming out next. That'll be right around March 19th. And then in addition to that, at the spring equinox, which is called Ostara, on the Wheel of the Year, I'll be also doing a video reading for that holiday as well. Oh, I did want to say quickly about Pisces. When the sun moves through Pisces, the connection between our highest selves, our inner emotional world, and our physical, mental, and emotional barriers become transparent. There's a focus on the spiritual, the intuitive, and our desire to create a practice and structure from the less tangible. A place where our dreams and our illusions get more of the spotlight. This is a revealing window that shows us what's going on behind the curtain, what needs to be cleared, dusted, revealed, or acknowledged within ourselves, our minds, and our lives. There is a deep connection with the divine, the spiritual, and cultivating a practice. Allow your intuition to guide you on what needs and wants to be healed. So that's a little bit more about the energy of Pisces, again, through about the 3rd week of March before we hit that new burst of energy with the fire sign of Aries. Next up is the moon. And again, at the producing of this video, the moon is in Taurus, and we're in the waxing crescent phase. And if you're interested about the phases of the moon and following them, I also provide regular moon phase updates and general energy readings for those periods. The moon does change sign about every 2.5 days. So it does have a strong bearing on the day-to-day activities that we do in life. Astrologically speaking, many times when we look at a chart, we're looking at the influences of many of the outer planets and not necessarily the transiting moon because it moves so fast. But many witches, like myself, know and trust the cycles of the moon, and we follow her and we plan different life events, activities, and projects according to the different phases she may be moving in or out of. So if you're curious about that, you'll definitely want to subscribe so you can get in tune with those phases and seeing maybe what in your life wants to be tuned to the moon. So moving ahead, Mercury is still retrograding at this time. It's retrograding it's starting its retrograde actually in Pisces, and then we'll move backwards and have a little touch in Aquarius. That retrograde lifts on March 9th, but the shadow won't be clear until around March 29th. When Mercury is in Pisces, actually, I'll start with Aquarius. That makes more sense since we're going that way, backwards. When it's in Aquarius, it'll be calling us to seek the managing of our work and our life in the big picture of things, how our work is making an impact, if it has meaning, and if it feels like it's falling short of what we had desired for ourselves, which will initiate us on a journey to seek deeper answers. With any Mercury retrograde through an air sign, which Aquarius is, we will want to be aware that our thinking will feel disconnected, scattered, or unfocused. And unfocused. It's not an either or, it's an and. This is not an ideal time to be making major decisions or working on tasks or projects that require a significant amount of focus, but rather to take some time away where we can process, allow, and work with what is shifting. Or if work is needed right now, try to work on more behind-the-scenes stuff and take plenty of breaks. And when Mercury hits Pisces, it'll be nudging us to look for the answers within, and that our miscommunications can often stem from blocked intuition or areas where we haven't allowed ourselves to trust ourselves or listen to our own truth rather than the truth of others. With any Mercury retrograde through a water sign, we will want to be aware that emotions will be heightened in ourselves and those around us. This is not an ideal time to be making decisions, but rather to take some time away where we can process, allow, and work with what is shifting. And Mercury retrograde is best used to nurture your community. It's not always ideal for launching, especially if it is in a water sign or occurring in a vulnerable area of your chart. It doesn't make launching off limits, but you may need to build in some additional time for tech issues or unexpected interruptions. Next up is Venus. And Venus is currently transiting the sign of Taurus, or she will be in just a few days. Again, I'm recording this video on or around March 1st, and Venus will be changing signs from Aries into Taurus on March 4th, and will stay until April 3rd. When Venus moves into Taurus, our focus becomes ourselves and developing our needs and wants more fully. We are compelled to examine our ideals around survival, security, love, affection, happiness, fulfillment, and the things we do to meet these needs. We are being called to examine how we value ourselves. Do we create conditions where we feel that value for ourselves, or conditions where we feel unworthy, or that we aren't being paid our value? Notice if this is a challenge for you, and then use this transit to rectify this. This is a potent window for significant changes in how you see yourself, how you value and care for yourself, and how you ensure that your needs and wants are being met in your life. Next up is Mars. And Mars recently joined the party in Capricorn, which I talk about in the outer planetary influences video, which I mentioned at the top of this video, and I'll link in the description and hopefully at the end of this one. Mars is in Capricorn beginning February 16th through March 29th. And Mars in Capricorn is a time of strengthening our forces. It's about using our energy, focus, motivation, and will to create something long-lasting for ourselves and our future stability. As I mentioned, it has joined Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn in the sign of the goat to help us gather the inspiration and burst of energy to keep ourselves going and move forward on projects and tasks that will help us to create a long-term foundation and put the pillars in place that are needed to sustain ourselves. What have you been putting off doing, resisting, or telling yourself you'll get to when you have more time? Something that if you began implementing over the next 6 weeks would make a massive difference in your long-term financial well-being and future. Mars helps to give us the push we need to take action. If you've been focusing more on short-term survival or just getting done what's in front of you, but don't have a long-term plan to get yourself out of living paycheck to paycheck, or are unable to take time off because everything revolves around you, then this is the kick in the pants you need to think out of the box and start putting pieces in place to help you change that. Take the time over the next 6 weeks to implement something that can begin to replace you, give you time off, or create additional income for you so that you can really begin building your future for the long term. That pretty much concludes the inner planetary update. I did want to take just a moment to talk to you about how to best apply this information and to see what area of your life will be influenced. Using your own chart, you would locate the houses that the planets that I just was talking about are transiting. An example would be, I just talked about how Mars is currently in Capricorn, and on my birth chart, Capricorn is on the 10th house cusp. It rules the 10th house for me. So the area currently influenced by Martian energy is the house of reputation, status, and career. Free astrology charts for calculating your own house positions and rising or ascendant sign can be found at astro.com or cafeastrology.com. You can also set up a consultation with me and I can provide you your chart and go over it with you. If you hung out all the way to the end of the video, I appreciate that. I also appreciate your likes and subscribes. Be sure and leave me a comment telling me what portions of the video resonated with you or made sense, or just what you're thinking, how you like this video. Hang tight because your wellness reading is up next. Hello, and welcome to Modern Day Meta. My name is Meta. Thank you for joining me and or being a part of this collective I'm reading for. Be sure and check out the links below for ways to reach me, including booking a personal consultation or sending a love offering via Google Pay, because what goes around comes around. If this is your first time here, please check out the welcome video that talks about who I am, who I'm not, and what you can expect if you should choose to subscribe to the channel. If you're a returning subscriber, returning member of the MDM Collective, hey boo, peace and blessings, thank you for being here. I do welcome comments regarding portions of this message that resonate with you, as well as your likes and shares. These cards have been casino shuffled and blessed off screen. And as you can see in here, I shuffle them a bit more so you can tap in yourself. All right. So here we go. The focus of today's reading is health and wellness for the general collective of water. To show that to you guys, water signs. You're up because, well, you know why. Because it's Pisces season. And I pick whose birthday it is. I pick their element and go first from there. So, happy birthday, Pisces. And if you're a Pisces and you have not yet checked out your planetary influences of 2020 on the channel here, you may want to check that out. It's kind of a birthday reading. All right, so the focus, as I said, of today's reading is health and wellness for the general collective of water signs, which include Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. Given the energies this collective will be encountering for the next 2 weeks from March 1st through the 15th, 2020. Bookended between oracle cards, 2 oracle card drawings. I'll be consulting Spirit for recommendations from my medicine decks. Given the energies that this collective will be encountering for these upcoming next 2 weeks from the White Light Oracle deck, I'll draw and read. Water sign collective, please. Thank you, Spirit. Show us what we need to see. I'm going to just take that top one. And let's see. Let's get your stone medicine, water babies. Stone medicine, please. For the water collective, given the energies this collective will be encountering for the next 2 weeks. Thank you, Spirit. March 15th, 1st through the 15th. Water. There is your stone medicine. And let's see your energy medicine, the sea and plant essence. For water collective, please, March 1st to the 15th, 2020. Spirit, what's your recommendation? I'm going to take that top one. Essential oil recommendation, Spirit, for our water collective, March 1st through the 15th, please. Essential oil to help them with the incoming energies they'll be encountering for the next 2 weeks, March 1st to the 15th. Thank you, Spirit. What say you? For Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Pansy, I almost said Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Show us what we need to see, please, Spirit. There. And finally, for a little fun, from the magical spells cards, because Pisces to me is all about magic. Spirit, what recommendation from the magical spell cards do you have for our water collective, March 1st through the 15th? Thank you. And one more from Making Magic, maybe a few, Spirit. Additional messages for our water collective. Let's see. Thank you. Water collective, March 1st through the 15th. For the energies this collective will be encountering. Thank you, Spirit. All right, water collective, let's see what you got. And out popped the sun, literally, like it's in my window because it's beautiful, fake spring day here. You have, let's see if I can get a good picture for you. This is the sun. The sun. It's a really beautiful card. I do hope that you can see that. There, maybe it's focusing now. The sun. Let me take a read and see what messages
Number 16, it breaks down to a 7. It is an active number. And here we are. The sun. And I'll just hold this up for you. You are being healed from guilt and fear. Such emotions will no longer steal your personal power or dissuade you from confidence, happiness, and realizing your own worth. No matter how unlikely it may seem, you are going to emerge from a spiritual winter into light and life. The divinely ordained time for your liberation, healing, and emergence is much closer than you realize. Abundant blessings are stirring and shall soon manifest. I love it. Just checking out the book to see if maybe there's some additional goodies in here. This does resonate with the frequency 417 hertz. It says that it is a spiritual truth serum and that it undoes false perceptions and dismantles circumstances and situations that are not meant for the soul. When a challenging situation is helping the soul to grow, this frequency will help you understand how to work through it in a soul-centered way, staying connected to the light within. If a situation such as a toxic relationship is creating a barrier between the soul and the light, weakening its ability to evolve and causing it to become stuck in trauma and negative patterns, this frequency will dismantle the negative circumstances. You always have free will, but your capacity to exercise that free will in a self-loving way will become more available to you. All right, and to support you with this particular type of emergence water collective, Spirit has selected from the Stone Medicine deck Amethyst. Beautiful image of amethyst there. And I'll just read for you. What it is. Amethyst is a lilac to dark purple semi-precious gemstone from the quartz family. The ancient Romans believed amethyst got its lush purple color when the god Bacchus spilled wine on a clear stone. Today, amethyst is believed to assist in connecting with the big guy in the sky. Who needs it? Train wrecks who go off the rails on the wet and wild route to Bacchanalia or any Pisces. Where to put it? The interior decorator's little purple secret, amethyst can uplift the vibe in any living space. And when to use it? When it's time to give up the victim routine and start living with purpose, hold on tight to amethyst. And the affirmation for this card, let's see if we can get it. It says, get drunk on your higher self. Get drunk on your higher self. I don't know if you guys can see that. Amethyst, water babies. And from the flower and sea life essence, the whale popped out for you. Water babies, water collective. This is about expansion. Love this. The whale, I am the giant of the sea. When you want to know what you're really capable of, come to me. The chakras that are being activated in the next 2 weeks are your third eye and crown, and the meridian is the conception vessel and governing vessel. The colors on this star all indicate different elements, and all of them are represented here. Fire, earth, metal, water, wood. Every element is also activated and at your disposal. There's your card, water collective. Very apropos, isn't it? The whale can go very deep and withstand tremendous pressure under the weight of the ocean. I think they're a tremendous creature. A tremendous creature, indeed. And let's see, essential oil that's coming up for the water sign collective is black pepper for March 1st through the 15th. This is about integration. And these two statements, well, one statement you need to be on the watch out for. Spirit is alerting you to this ego statement that goes, I am trapped. And Spirit is encouraging you to reframe it into, I am whole. And it says, allow the parts of yourself to hide to make themselves known. In the light, you will see the wisdom they hold. You can tell by the color of this, it's kind of a golden color, golden ambery. So that chakra might be activated here, the one in the belly. That kind of reminds me of that color, kind of a yellowy orange color. I believe that's the solar plexus. All right. And as far as magic goes, playfulness, we're going to get a message, a playful message from Spirit, hopefully. And what's been selected for you is card number 41, which breaks down to a 5. Again, another very contrasting and active number. This card is imagination. The color is purple, just like amethyst. It says, imagination now sets me free. Divine ones, I send my thanks to thee. I'm going to go ahead and read for an additional message from the book. 41. Your imagination is so powerful that to have it working with you and for you is a true blessing, one that can change lives. Cast this spell and let your imagination be one of the most significant allies each and every day. Imagination can work with you to create happiness, peace of mind, fun, delight, courage, and prosperity, and it will always bring color and excitement into your life. If you were chosen by this spell, it's entirely possible that you may have heard the power of imagination being diminished as silly fantasy or dreaming when you were young. So many of us have had the wings of our imagination clipped by well-meaning parents, teachers, and or cultures. But to lose this is to lose a part of our true magic. Imagination is, as Einstein said, more important than intelligence. Through imagination, we create our world, see into our future, shape ourselves, understand our dreams, and share our experiences. Through imagination, we play and story, truths and myths, legends and wonders, which all ignite our relationship to the marvel of the world. Cast this spell, unleash the wonders of your imagination, and let it weave its magic in your life. The universe asks you to. Beautiful. I love that. And your last one, from Making Magic, your message is perseverance. And it says, the motivation to keep going despite the odds. So yeah, you've got some clear messages here from Spirit. Water Collective, perseverance. You definitely have angelic help here with amethyst and your imagination, your own imagination, and being able to go very deeply and take the pressure of that deep water and expand more fully. Water signs, I hope this has supported you. If you hung out all the way to the end of this video, I appreciate that. I also appreciate your likes and subscribes. Be sure to leave me a comment telling me what portions of the video resonated with you or supported you. Looking forward to reading for you again very soon, Water Collective. Until then, namaste.